Coming up on the Rockbridge Report, the latest on the closing of one popular area business, possible changes for Buena Vista Elementary School students, and new parking regulations that could affect Lexington residents. All this and more on the Rockbridge Report.
Good afternoon and welcome to the Rockbridge Report. I'm Katie Geddes. The closing of Cool Spring Organic Market has caused much discussion around town. Rockbridge reporter Holly Southers has the story.
Co-owners Brad Isold and Serena Anderson moved out of their organic grocery store at the beginning of the month because of their landlord's refusal to renew their lease. The local coverage of the Cool Spring Organic Market dispute casts a shadow on landlords. Many believe that the grocery store's landlord refused to renew the lease until the owners agreed to a rent increase, but the landlord was putting the property up for sale.
At that very time, January of 2010, we told Brad and Selena that we did not want to renew any leases, that we had planned to sell the property for the last 4 years.
Natkin also offered to sell the property to the tenants and agreed to finance the building for them for several years. Both Isold and Anderson refused to comment on Natkin's attempt to sell them the property. Natkin said that she did not receive an answer from the owners until the beginning of August when they told her that they could not afford to buy the space. For the Rockbridge Report, I'm Holly Southers.
The Chamber of Commerce urges commercial and residential renters to closely review a lease before signing it to understand the responsibilities of the landlord as well as those of a tenant. Lexington may be joining with Buena Vista in a plan to remove solid waste from both cities through a transfer station in Buena Vista. Lexington City Manager John Ellistad said Rockbridge County has taken too long to come up with an alternative plan. As a result, the city is joining Buena Vista in the project. The three governments currently share a landfill that they must stop using by the end of 2012. Final decisions need to be made by the end of the year to avoid running up against state deadlines. Local sporty youngsters could soon have a new place to practice and play. On Wednesday, the County Planning Commission proposed a youth sports complex be approved by the Board of Supervisors. The proposed site is on Mountain View Road. Rockbridge Area Recreational Organization Director Bill Kramer says the county is in need of more fields and facilities. He says the privately run complex would sometimes be open to the public for recreation. The Board of Supervisors will discuss the issue Monday evening at 7 p.m. A public hearing will follow. The Lawrence family is waiting to hear the amount of damages they will be awarded in their lawsuit against the Rockbridge County Area Department of Social Services. In 2007, a judge held an emergency hearing to transfer custody of Michael from DSS to Susan and Steve Lawrence. After the Lawrence family officially adopted Michael in 2009, the DSS signed a contract promising to provide compensation for Michael's care. The agency never paid, so the Lawrences went to court. On July 22nd, Judge Michael Irvine ruled the agreement was legally binding and that the DSS was required to pay. The judge heard arguments and damages on October 8th and is expected to decide on the amount awarded in the coming weeks. To read more about the Lawrence family's story, go to www.rockbridgereport.wlu.edu. Kling and Enderley Heights Elementary Schools in Buena Vista could see some major changes next school year. A committee of teachers and parents is working to restructure which building houses which grades. The proposal would separate first and second graders into one school and third and fourth graders into the other. Reorganizing Kling and Enderley Heights would reduce class sizes across all grades and consolidate technology costs.
I think it's a good idea to use what you have the wisest way you can. And if we reconfigured, all the grade level teachers would be together.
The Buena Vista School Board will meet on Tuesday at 6 in the evening at Perry McClure Middle School Auditorium, but it is unlikely they will hear the official proposal until January. At tonight's City Council meeting, Lexington officials will decide whether to pass a new parking enforcement plan. Rockbridge reporter Michael Freeman has the story.
People who park downtown may face more than a $15 fine. The proposal before City Council calls for fines to double after each offense, and after 4 tickets, the city tows your car.
This will cause those people to become more responsible and think about, okay, it was $15 and I didn't mind that, but now I'm getting 30, 60, 120 towed, and I can't deal with that.
The plan would also allow people who live or work downtown to purchase a long-term parking permit. Some business owners believe these parking permits and increased fines would open up spaces in front of their stores.
I think the big problem we have is parking slots in the downtown area that are they're used by other business owners who typically don't park in front of their own businesses. They park in front of other people's businesses.
I'd be fine to tow someone out and have a client walk in my door.
Washington and Lee's student Austin Gideon says he's fed up with getting parking tickets. Gideon has already gotten 4 parking tickets this year and 2 on the same day.
This seems most directly targeted at students as far as revenue, which I guess they aren't satisfied with the $15 for a 2-hour parking rate, and they've decided to quadruple it to $120. So maybe they're just trying to get new cars or something.
There are students, I guess, who will fall into a category to where they can't get one of the long-term permits and they can't park on campus. And most of those, I think, live close enough to where they could walk.
The way to not get a parking fine is to obey the law.
The city plans to only sell 50 long-term parking permits, but if you live or work downtown, you can purchase one for $10 a month or $100 a year. But if that doesn't work for you, you can always park at the downtown parking garage right here. For the Rockbridge Report, I'm Michael Freeman.
If you would like to voice your opinion on this issue, the Lexington City Council meeting will begin at 8 p.m. tonight in the County Administration Building located on 150 South Main Street. Coming up, find out how local businesses cope with a bad economy.
I wouldn't have been at this ceremony if I hadn't been at this ceremony first. Unfortunately, nearly 30% of U.S. high school students aren't making it to graduation. And every one of us, every parent, every friend, and neighbor, has the responsibility to provide the support and encouragement they need to make it through. Because we all need to see a lot more of these pictures.
I'm lucky. Let me help you with that. I get to do something I love. It has nothing to do with touchdowns or titles. Everybody bring it in. I get to play a part in the life of someone just starting out. How many of you think homework is just as important as teamwork? I help keep kids in school. Good. And that's the name of the game. My name is LaDainian Thomason. I don't just wear the shirt, I live it.
Give, advocate, volunteer. Live United. I really want to show you something.
1, 2, ready, go. L-O-V-E. It's a mystery. All is love. Is love.
Did you play today? For great play ideas, visit www.smallstep.gov.
Local businesses and the Chamber of Commerce are urging residents to buy local. Business owners say that the increase in online and chain store shopping, along with the weak economy, are contributing to the decrease in sales at their stores. The city recently launched a Shop Local initiative, but some business owners are still hurting and say that more needs need to be done.
Electronic commerce affects everybody. I think the best way to approach that is by means of a local education project that tells people just how much money they lose if they buy online or if they buy at major chain stores, as opposed to coming into a neighborhood store.
Compton Design and Printing closed in August, and the Paisley Partridge will close sometime before the end of the year. If business doesn't pick up, Books and Company and other businesses may follow. Attorney General Ken Cuccinelli is suing the federal government, claiming that the new health care reform law is unconstitutional. Cuccinelli says the new law violates the Commerce Clause of the Constitution.
It penalizes Americans for not engaging in commerce.
20 other states have filed suit against the government because of the health care bill, and experts say that the issue will ultimately end up in the Supreme Court. Christine O'Donnell, the Republican candidate for Senate in Delaware, is also taking on the Constitution. O'Donnell made a political faux pas Tuesday in a debate against Democratic candidate Chris Coons when she appeared to question that the First Amendment mandates separation of church and state. Listen to the part of that debate.
The First Amendment establishes the separation, the fact that the federal government shall not establish any religion, and decisional law by the Supreme Court over many, many decades.
The First Amendment
clarifies and enshrines that there is a separation of church and state that our courts and our laws must respect.
So you're telling me that the separation of church and state, the phrase the separation of church and state is found in the First Amendment? Where in the Constitution is separation of church and state?
It's in, no, an excellent point.
Hold on, please.
The First Amendment doesn't explicitly contain that phrase, but the Establishment Clause restricts the government from promoting any religion. Is Lexington due for another beautiful fall weekend? Your weather is next. And after the show, stay tuned to hear what Lieutenant Bucky Miller has to say about cyberbullying in Rockbridge County.
Hey.
Ready to go?
Yeah, but the fire's not out.
Close enough.
Huh. Close enough? If it's too hot to touch, it's too hot to leave. I mean, the next thing you know, you've torched our whole neighborhood.
Which is why we're not going anywhere?
Exactly. 9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by humans.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Es un gran día para los deportes. Vaya festín de jugadas que tenemos.
Mucha acción, David, por eso nos vamos directamente a las pelotas. El duelo padre-hijo en el jardín. Batazo al jardín derecho, no. Y se cayó.
Se cayó, pero bueno, ahí va.
Nos vamos ahora al básquet, 2 contra 1.
Y la clava. Solita, la clavó.
Y ahora el fútbol. Ahí está papá, que la pase.
Solo.
Lo va a definir, golazo. Estas son escenas que no se repiten. Las mejores jugadas suceden en casa.
Tómate el tiempo para ser un buen papá.
It's a great day, isn't it?
Yeah. Too bad your boat's gonna sink at 11:05.
Don't come closer. I have rabies.
Don't you wish there were warnings to protect you from life's risks? With diabetes, there is one. It's called A1C, a simple blood test that helps measure your risk of serious complications. Learn more at diabetesaA1c.org.
At the fall colors that make Rockbridge County and the rest of the Blue Ridge Mountains famous. Piles of leaves line the historic streets of Lexington as the reds and oranges of fall appear. But rainy weather next week will dim those beautiful changing leaves. This weekend, the area will see sunny weather, perfect to enjoy admiring the fall colors. The high on Friday will reach 64 degrees, with the low overnight getting into the 40s. On both Saturday and Sunday, the high will get into the mid-70s. The low on Saturday night will get down to 54 degrees and 50 degrees Sunday night. The beginning of the week starts off nicely with temperatures in the mid-70s again on Monday. However, rainy weather will head this way on Tuesday with a 40% chance of rain. The high will still hover in the lower 70s though and get down to 52 overnight. Lieutenant Bucky Miller is today's newsmaker, where he talks about the latest with the police reorganization.
12 hours seems like a long time, but you know, when you're looking to be off for 2 or 3 days, it's not so bad. One effort that we're going to try to make is to make sure that when our guys are off, that they're away from work, that they don't have to come back. Now, we can't always do that. We have a court.
Be sure to watch the on-record portion of the Rockbridge Report after the show. Lieutenant Bucky Miller also talks about how Lexington is operating under its new police chief, gang activity, and cyberbullying. Coming up next, move over Lou Saban, a remarkable play in a Kentucky high school football game.
The hurricane has passed, but the recovery won't be complete until all the water has receded. If you're having trouble coping, trained and caring help is waiting.
Hola, Grover, what are you doing?
Oh, I am making my emergency kit. I want to be prepared just in case.
Oh, my friend Mia made a kit with her family. Everyone help! They packed flashlights and batteries, water, food, a radio, and put it where they could find it rapidamente, quickly.
I guess I should take my canoe out of there, huh?
Look, Grover.
Help your family get ready for an emergency. Learn more at ready.gov/sesame.
Hello there. It is your old pal Grover. Meet my new friends.
Madison, Isaac, Alexa, Romeo, Amanda.
They have last names too.
Vigo, Che, Lopez, Rodriguez, Warner.
Everybody has a first and last name, even mommies and daddies. Do you know yours? Do you know your mommies and daddies? If you do not, go find out.
Know your whole name so grown-ups can help you in an emergency. Learn more at ready.gov/sesame.
I am a teenager.
I am online.
I enjoy sharing thoughts,
Music. Videos.
ideas.
Information.
I will not
I will not be a victim to threats.
to stalking,
To soliciting.
to predators.
I will be responsible.
I will be careful. I will be honest.
I will be smarter. I would get my parents involved.
I will protect myself.
I will be safe.
I am a teenager.
And I
And I
will not
be bullied.
The hurricane has passed, but the recovery won't be complete until all the water has receded. If you're having trouble coping, trained and caring help is waiting.
It's a football play you have to see to believe. With just 1.8 seconds left in a Kentucky high school football game, a last-minute touchdown put the home team up by 7. The visitors had time for one last play. The runner picked up a fumble, and after a series of laterals, another player carried the ball down the field. At this point, it looks like the ball carrier was down and the home team rushed the field thinking they'd won. But the ball is still alive and the ball carrier runs into the end zone for the score. After making the 2-point conversion, the visitors won the game 42-41. That's all we have for you today. Check us out online at rockbridgereport.wlu.edu. I'm Katie Geddes. Thanks for watching.